The feature race at Epsom on Saturday is the 242nd renewal of the Cazoo Derby, the ultimate test of the thoroughbred, the race we're all building up to, and these are the 12 who bid to etch their place in history. Notable mentions for Bolshoi Ballet, Hurricane Lane, John Leeper, Max Swiney and co. And Max Swiney is the highest rated horse in the race at 119 on those ratings there. And Graham Cunningham, the curveball of curveballs, came out this week. We thought there'd be plenty for Aidan O'Brien. 6 entries, it's only 1 declared, Bolshoi Ballet. What are your views?
Well, it would take all day to give them all. It's a pretty complicated situation. I'd make maybe 2 or 3 points. First of all, I think this is a boardroom decision, not a boardroom decision. I don't think it's Aidan's decision. I think it's come from on high. The lads, Job Magna, Derek Smith, Michael Tabor. High Definition was Derby favourite all winter, was second favourite up until Wednesday afternoon. Now he's a non-runner, and that's a blow to the race, no question. How do we get to a place where that happens and the media and the public just seem to shrug and move on? It's because Coolmore have dominated this race for a long time. And the last point to make is that sport needs stars. Everyone wants the Derby to thrive. How can the Derby really achieve its maximum potential when, out of the blue, smoke and mirrors, cloak and dagger, the second favourite just disappears when he's seemingly still fit and healthy?
We will go on with the previews and we will have a look at the horse who is front and centre in the market and has been for the last month or so. Bolshoi Ballet we will be coming to, who won the Derrinstown Derby trial last time and did it in the most exceptional of performances as well. Won the Ballysacks the time before. He's taken the tried and tested route. Max Swiney was in the race also. He had excuses that day. But look, he is the talking horse, Graham. Are you for or against the Bolshoi Ballet?
I am for with a capital F, and I don't think he is a talking horse. Yes, this piece of form has taken a couple of hits. Loch Derg, the grey horse who galloped on for second, has been beaten since. Another horse has been beaten since. The chestnut in the white Jim Bolger colours, Max Swiney, has won the Irish Guineas. But look at this. This is a fantastic side-on angle of a terrifically athletic, highly progressive 3-year-old colt. Watch the way he puts this field to bed in a few strides. He comes home 6 lengths clear. The clock does not lie. He was over 15 lengths or 20 lengths faster than a maiden and a good handicap. High-quality time figure. The comparisons with his sire, Galileo, who was Aidan's first Derby winner 20 years ago, are absolutely striking. They're there in his run style, they're there in that beautiful, elegant daisy-cutting action, and they're there in the fact that he's won Galileo's 2 springboard races into the Derby. But
I thought that was interesting in itself. Sindar 2000, Galileo 2001, and then High Chaparral all won the Derrinstown and won this, but not since. Now, listen, that could be something or nothing. It did surprise me slightly that race hasn't teed up a Derby winner in nearly 20 years.
Maybe it's fool's gold. Maybe it's not as good as it looked, but the clock tells you something different. And my contention is that horse is getting better, and he'll get better again over a mile and a half. Stamina is not a concern with this colt, and I haven't seen a colt for ages who's likely to relish Epsom as much as Bolshoi Ballet. The fast ground is perfect. Everything is in place for him to be the #1 act in this year's Derby.
Absolutely. The first time since 2004 Aidan O'Brien runs just 1 in the Derby. We saw Bolshoi Ballet, we saw him demolish the field, which included Max Swiney, but Max Swiney has had a fair old day in the sun. Well, it wasn't that day in the Irish 2000 Guineas, just 2 weeks before the Derby, when leading home a 1-2, beating another Guineas winner in the form of Poetic Flair. And this is now a Group 1 winner at 2 and 3. How big a threat to Bolshoi Ballet when they meet at Epsom?
He's the one leading fancy that I'm going to side against, Nick. No question he's a high-quality horse. He showed that at Doncaster in Group 1 company on testing ground last autumn. He showed it again on testing ground in the Irish Guineas, getting the better of stablemate Poetic Flair in a ding-dong tussle. But it's a ground and stamina thing, Nick. His ability is there for all to see. He is proven at Group 1 level in a way that most of these Derby colts aren't yet. But it's a mile, it's testing ground, and this weekend at Epsom, he faces a 1.5 miles on a unique course on much, much faster ground. I'm not as convinced by Max Swiney's Derby credentials, and especially his stamina, as a lot of people are.
I agree. Jim Bolger and Kevin Manning won the race in 2008. They bid to win it again with Max Swiney. Now, talking of routes into the Derby, the Dante's been a very, very good one. Dante run at York, North Light won it. Motivator, Authorised and Golden Horn, all in the last 15 years, all went on to win at Epsom. And Hurricane Lane, as we see there, unbeaten now in 3 starts, bid needs to do the same.
I think he's a major, major contender and the prime danger to Bolshoi Ballet. He's unbeaten. He's bred to relish a mile and a half. As you can see in the Godolphin Blue, he takes a little while to wind up. A Godolphin pacemaker got loose on the lead here. But the horse in black and white, Magellan, is a pretty good colt. High Definition is in behind in the purple. And look at the way he knuckles down. Quite a lot of the Frankel colts are pretty fiery. This horse isn't like that. He has a very relaxed demeanour. It's not flash, it's not whiz-bang, but it's very functional. I make Hurricane Lane a definite place contender this week.
I agree with you entirely. We will move on and have a look at a horse that Graham would have cast his eye on when we had a look at the Guineas Day a month ago. That was Mohaafeth, who absolutely streeted them at Newmarket. It was a small field event, but hearing recently his trainer William Haggis, who tasted success in the Derby with Charmit, he feels he couldn't have this fellow better. He can't wait for the Derby.
Yeah, sometimes the answer is I'm not sure, and I'm not sure exactly how good this horse is. The style, Nick, is impossible to fault because, as you can see, he just jogs past his main rivals here. But I have a strong feeling this race fell apart. The Godolphin favourite in blue just didn't seem to run his race. Percy's Lad was tailed off, and if you look at the splits for this race, the sectional times compared to a couple of other good races on the card, he didn't have to run fast. That's not his fault.
Correct.
He could be anything. He's in my numbers, but I don't know exactly how good he is.
Now, one thing we really must do as well is emphasise just how changeable the weather and therefore the ground has been over the last 2 weeks. You were at Epsom yesterday. I was there a week last Monday, and it was bottomless, heavy ground. Since then, we've had scorching heat. It's dried all the time. It won't mind Mohaafeth one bit.
Yeah, I walked the course on Wednesday. The ground is slick, quicker than it's been there for a while. Certain horses will relish that. Bolshoi Ballet definitely will. Mohaafeth definitely will. So, given his trainer's confidence and his trainer's fine touch at this level, he's already won one Derby, you have to think that this is a player.
John Leeper would be an incredible story. He's trained by Ed Dunlop. He's named in honour of his late father, John, who was twice a Derby-winning trainer with Shirley Heights, with Erhard. And there's more depth to this, isn't there? We'll talk about the performance in a minute, but Ed Dunlop's already had an Oaks winner who produced a Derby winner, Ouija board in Australia, and his other Oaks winner, Snow Fairy, is the dam of this fella. That would be the most extraordinary double.
Yeah, if you're looking for a horse and connections who can inject some much-needed romance back into the Derby picture, well, this is your lad. He's a very good-looking horse. There won't be too many who create a more favourable impression in the paddock. My question is this big test coming a little soon in his education? It's a hard school, the Derby. This horse, John Leeper, pulled pretty hard before William Buick set him alight coming out of the dip at Newmarket. Pretty decisive success, but he's up in class in a major way. Not too worried about the trip, not too worried about the track. It's just a case of whether he's mentally attuned to this after just a handful of starts.
They won't mind that they've drawn stall 12. Serpentine and Australia, both winners had a stall 12, and the draw was conducted on Thursday. And should note as well, the jockey merry-go-round, the Crown Prince, Frankie Dettori, has now got the ride on John Leeper. Yeah,
it's an unusual merry-go-round.
It is.
He was perhaps hoping to view the race in HD, high definition. Now he's going to view it in JL, John Leeper. So good luck to him. I think that horse could get a fair way back in the field. There is no one better at settling a keen-going horse than Frankie. But if he wants to get John Leeper settled, he may end up in the back 2 or 3.
Let's have a look at Third Realm, who is 2 from 3 in a short career so far. This was the performance at Nottingham, first time up this season when snapping the maiden. Since then, he's gone on to win a recognised Derby trial, which was the Lingfield Derby trial, which obviously for years was in the doldrums until Anthony Van Dyke 2 years ago won at Lingfield and then won the Derby.
Yeah, he's drawn towards the inside, which is not ideal in the Derby. But Third Realm is a hold-up horse anyway, and I think he's going to get back and finish off quite nicely. I suspect he's not going to be quite good enough, Nick. This is his maiden win. You see, he took a little while to subdue his opposition. He took a sizable step forward at Lingfield, but he did just wander around and show greenness when he hit the front. Likeable, highly progressive colt. Is he a Derby winner? I think the jury is still out on that.
And if you need any more persuasion that he's not, he's drawn stall 2, which has never won the Derby.
And the Derby has been going since 1780-something.
I can't remember the first one, no.
Yeah,
right, most importantly, what everyone wants to know, Graham Cunningham's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I've got clear on top Bolshoi Ballet, Hurricane Lane as my second option, Mohaafeth for third, and that lad, Third Realm, perhaps staying on for fourth. I'm going to take a chance and leave out Max Swiney, but the Derby numbers for me, 2, 4, 7, 11, with Bolshoi Ballet and Hurricane Lane on top.
There you are. Those are their selections of Graham Cunningham for the 2021 Cazoo Derby, the 242nd running of the ultimate test of the thoroughbred.